another Gentle Yoga Flow session. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy this flow. It will be helpful if you have a belt or strap and maybe a blanket, block, book, something like that to help you in a couple poses. If not, don't worry, we'll find other ways to modify. So we're going to be doing mainly, in fact, everything is going to be down on the mat today. Going to be a fairly gentle, restorative kind of flow, so nothing too extreme today. And we'll start just sitting quietly. Maybe you can sit on a blanket or a block to elevate your hips a little bit, make sitting a little bit easier for many of us. But come to any comfortable seated position and sort of rock back. Find those sitting bones at the bottom of your pelvis. If you rock back, you'll feel them. And then sit up nice and tall, sort of reaching up from your belly button, elongating all the way up your spine, feeling the length going all the way up your back, through your neck, through the crown of the head. And close your eyes. And take a moment here just to check in, see how your body feels, maybe making some mental notes, just kind of being aware of how you feel sitting in this position at the moment. And after you've sort of done a little bit of a check-in, come back and take a moment and analyze how you're breathing. And notice you're probably breathing fairly short, non-conscious breaths. It's what we do when we're not paying attention to our breath. We do breathe automatically. And as you're breathing like that, see if you can start to bring attention to the breath and bring some elongation into the breath so that on the inhale, you're breathing in through the nose, lifting up all the way up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, let the air out, either through the mouth or nose, but maintaining some of that lift you got on the inhale. And sit and just let the breath start to go in and out of your body, lengthening as much as you can, matching the exhale to the inhale. So maybe on the inhale you're counting just a loose kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, or however long is appropriate for you. And on the exhale, sort of let that count continue the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, letting the air come out, and then inhaling and restarting the cycle. So let the breath go in and out. Allow your focus and attention to be on your breath here. Feeling the expansion of air through the lungs, and even feeling the expansion of air through the whole body, through the whole upper body as you're breathing. And then bring your palms together at your heart center, maintaining a nice even inhale and exhale. Pause for a moment here and bring an intention to your practice today. Whatever that intention may be, it could be something having to do with your practice, it could be something having to do with your life. It doesn't really matter. The importance is really bringing an intention to something that's important to you, no matter what it is. Continuing to let the breath go in and out. And then gently lower your hands back to your thighs. Take another nice long inhale up. Exhale, let it all out. And then gently open your eyes and relax. So we're going to start today on our backs. So you're going to come onto your back. Lie back down, have your knees bent, feet planted. And just bring your knees into your chest and rock back and forth a little bit. So just a gentle sort of a rocking back and forth feeling. Maybe it feels good across the low back. You can spread your knees pretty wide if you want. Keep them close in, whichever feels good. This is really just a little bit of a massaging, wake up, allowing your body to sort of just feel some movement, motion, etc. And then gently bring the feet back to the mat. And then grab the right knee. Pull the right knee in towards your chest. Extend the left leg out straight. And really press the left leg down into the mat. The toes are flexed, pointing up to the ceiling. Pulling the knee up towards your shoulder. Taking several rounds of breath here, even inhales and exhales. Inhaling, pulling the knee up towards your chest. Exhale, letting it release a little bit. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Letting go. Bringing the left foot back to the mat. Bringing the right foot down to the mat. Just swing the knees back and forth a little bit. And then bring the left knee into the chest. And extend the right leg straight out. And again, each inhale, pull the knee up towards the shoulder, pulling it into the chest. Exhaling, releasing the knee a little bit. The right leg is flexed, toes are flexed, pointed up to the ceiling. The right leg is pressing into the mat here. So the leg that's extended is fully engaged. It's not just sitting there, it's pressing and engaged. Each inhale, pull that leg a little bit closer. Each exhale, release. A few more rounds of breath here as you inhale and exhale. And then last breath, as you release, you can bring the right foot back into the mat. Let the left foot come, knees are bent. And then spread your arms wide. Have your arms spread wide, palms up. And turn your knees out, let your feet come together. Press the feet together. And while you're pressing the feet, let the knees just soften and go as wide as they can. Again, that's going to be very different for everybody. Some people will bring their knees all the way down to the floor. Some people's knees may be way up here. The point really is just find your limit. Press the feet together and breathe. Even inhales and exhales. Letting the breath come in and out. back in together, planting the feet. And then from here, find a strap or a belt or a towel, anything that you can use. And starting on the right side, I'm going to put the strap over the ball of the foot. Grab the strap with your arms and start with your elbows on the mat. Let the leg come up as high as you can, pulling the foot with a little bit of leverage. And then extend your hands up the strap until you can reach as far as you can. Shoulders are coming off the mat here a little bit. Back is flat. And then come back to your breath, breathing in and out. And as you're in the pose for a little bit, maybe you find you can inch your hands up a little bit. And then if you want to bring a little more effort into the pose, you can extend the left leg out straight. Again, keeping it fully engaged. And notice as I do that, my leg's going to pull back a little bit. It can't be quite as high as it was, at least not initially. So again, the left leg is pressing into the mat, toes are pointing straight up, foot is flexed. Even inhale and exhale. And pressing with the ball of the foot through the strap. So both legs are really engaged here. The left leg is pressing down into the mat, the right leg is pressing up towards the ceiling. Steady breath. And then move the strap so that you can grab both straps, both ends of the strap with one hand, with the right hand. Bring the left hand out to the side, palm up, and let the right leg come out as far as you can, letting the hand slide on the strap to whatever comfortable position it needs to be in. I like to have the elbow down, letting the leg come as far out to the side as you can, while not letting this left leg release. So if you do this and the leg is up off the ground, you've sort of lost really what you want. So you want to keep the left leg firmly entranced on the ground, pressing down, letting the left arm press down into the floor. Right leg is extended as far as you can. Breath is steady and even. Two more breaths here. Inhale the leg back up to center. Bring the left leg back in. Release the strap. And just sort of swing the knees back and forth for a second, rocking back and forth. And then settle in. Bring the strap around the ball of the left foot. So again, elbows to the mat. Press the left foot up towards the ceiling. Right foot is pressing into the mat. Come back to your breath. Steady, even inhales and exhales. Slide your hands up the mat strap as high as you can. Pressing the ball of the foot into the strap up towards the ceiling. And you can stay here. This is fine. Right? If you want a little bit more, you can extend the right leg out straight. Pressing that right leg into the mat. Right foot is flexed, toes pointing to the ceiling. Breath is steady and even as you're holding the strap, pressing the ball of the foot in up towards the ceiling, pressing the right leg down into the floor. So both legs really fully engaged here. Breath is steady and even. A few more rounds of breath. And then bring the strap into the left hand, both straps into the left hand. Bring the right arm out to the side. letting the left leg come out to the side. Maybe bringing the elbow to the floor, whatever's comfortable. Letting that left leg really firmly extend as far as it can. Again, both legs are still very engaged. So you're not just hanging out in this pose. The right leg is pressing down. Ball of the left foot is still pressing out through the strap. Breath is steady and even. A couple more breaths. And then on an inhale, bring the leg back up to center. Bring the right foot in, plant it. Release the strap. And put the strap to the side. Bring both knees into the chest, rock back and forth. Again, just giving the low back a little bit of a massage. Feels good. Maybe spread the knees wide. Whatever feels good here. And then we're going to come up to a seated position. You can make your way there any way you want. One nice way is to try and rock back and forth. So rock back, forth until you've got enough momentum. Up. There you go, all the way up. Okay. And then from here, we're going to come onto our stomach. So we will be lying down. Bring your forearms to the mat, and we're going to do a Sphinx pose. So arms are parallel here. Elbows are slightly ahead of our shoulders. Palms are flat. And then from here, notice, it's for many people, this pose, they end up rotating their feet out, right? And that creates contraction here in the small of the back. So what we want to do is roll onto the left side a little bit. Bring this right leg up, rotate it in so that the top of your foot is firmly on the mat or floor. And then keeping that there, you're going to roll the other way, turn that left leg in so the top of the left foot is firmly on the floor. Now, come back to your arms, press the arms into the mat, let the head drop, press into the mat with the arms, soften the belly, soften the legs, letting the head drop, keep lifting the shoulders, so pressing with the arms, shoulders are lifting, head is dropping, steady breath. And then to come out, just gently spread the elbows wide. Bring your forehead to your hands for just a moment. And then from here, bring your forehead to the mat. Spread your arms wide so that your arms are at a right angle. Elbows are bent. Turn to the right, turn your head to the right, so the left side of your head is on the mat, bringing your right knee up towards your right elbow. Come back to your breath. Notice how you're breathing. Let the breath start to come back to its nice, steady, even pace. It's elongated breathing. Notice this has a fair amount of twist going on in the neck, so be gentle. If you're feeling too much, you can back off a little bit. Really just notice how that feels on your body. Letting the breath come in and out, nice and steady. One more breath. And then to come out, bring the knee back, bring the leg back, turn the head back in for a moment. And then turn the head to the right, bringing the left knee up to the left elbow. Same thing. Come back to your breath, nice and steady breathing. Again, noticing what impact the twist in the neck has, being aware of it, backing off if it feels too much, letting the breath be steady and even. One more breath here. And then you come out, you're going to bring the left leg back, turn the head back to center. And then from here, extend both arms out wide as far as you can. Turn your head to the right, and then roll onto your left side. So keeping the left arm extended straight out, you're going to roll onto your left side here. And just coming into this position, you may find this may feel fairly intense on the inner left arm, maybe on the inner left chest and the pec. You can adjust the sort of location of the arm a little bit up and down to sort of meet what feels right. And then if you're in this pose, you're not feeling too much sensation, you can start to raise the right leg up. So you can let it come in front of you, it can come behind you, but any amount with that knee is lifting that knee up is going to cause more rotation, and you'll probably start to feel the effect of that on the inner arm, on the left chest, into the shoulder maybe. So be very gentle. So the nice thing about this is you can be in this pose, and this may be sufficient, and you can just stay here. As you lift this leg up, as you lift the knee up, keeping the foot on the ground, you're causing some rotation, so you can really control how much sensation you feel in this pose. You don't have to try and get all the way the knee up, and you really need to listen to your body and see what feels good. And we're going to stay in this pose for about a minute or so, keeping the breath nice and even. And maybe you find as you're in the pose for a while, you find a little more room, a little more length, a little bit more ability to bring the knee up. And then to come out of the pose, you just bring the knee down, roll sort of back onto your belly. Bring both hands together, rest your forehead on your hands just for a moment. Pause here for just a couple breaths. And then we'll do the other side. So you extend the right arm out. I'm going to switch sides so you can see me better. You don't need to switch sides. So here my right arm is extended out. Again, I roll onto my left side. And I start here and I feel kind of how does this feel on my left arm, my right chest. And some people will have a lot of sensation, some people will have no sensation. And then you can start to bring some rotation to the body by lifting this left knee up and sort of noticing how it feels, letting the breath continue to come in and out of the body, nice and steady. You might notice that for me, I can bring my
knee up much higher than I could on my other side. And, you know, everybody's going to be a little different side to side. We have our strengths and our weaknesses, and, you know, some sides are more mobile than others. Keep the breath steady for another round of breaths here. And then to come out of the pose, we just bring our knees back down, roll back onto our belly, bring our hands in for our forehead, and rest for just a moment. Take a couple more breaths here. And then come on up. Now, I'm going to go back to the other side, give you a little better view. So, from here, I'm going to come forward, come onto our forearms. We're going to do a forearm plank pose. So walk your elbows in, interlace your hands, curl your toes under, and on an inhale, press up into a forearm plank. Now we'll stay here for about 10 breaths. You can come in and out as many times as you need to, doesn't matter. And if you're tired, come down, come back up. If you're not tired, stay in the pose. It's pretty simple. Let the breath return to a nice, steady, even breath. Press the heels back behind you. Reach with the crown of the head forward, finding as straight a body as you can create, engaging the muscles of the front body. So the belly, the legs, the thighs, all of the muscles are working here. 5 more breaths. Last breath. And then lower down. Release the hands, bring your forehead to the mat. Have your palms by your sides. Have the top of your feet pressing into the floor. And then inhale. Lift the head, chest, and shoulders. Keep the breath steady and even. Maybe it's available to you and you can lift your hands off the mat just a little bit. Hover them over the ground. Keep the lift in the chest and shoulders. And then lower the hands, lower the head. Bring the hands back to the low ribs. Make sure they're really back by the low ribs. Inhale, press all the way up to upward dog. And then exhale, come to down dog. So first down dog of the day. You can walk it out a little bit. Bend the knees, walk back and forth. And just feel how down dog feels today. Spread your fingers wide. Rotate the biceps forward. Bend the knees a little bit. Press the hands into the mat. Pressing the hips up and back. And then on an inhale, Inhale, come up onto your toes as high as you can. Exhale, bend the knees, press the heels. Again, inhale up onto the toes. Bend the knees, press the heels back. One more time. Inhale, up onto the toes. Bend the knees, press the heels. Inhale the right leg up and back. As you exhale, step it all the way through, coming to a low lunge. Bring the palms together, heels together. So you may come into this pose. You might have to come out of down dog, step your foot forward. That's all fine. So just make your way into this low lunge pose. And note that we've got the right knee over the right ankle. Back toes are curled under for the moment. Palms, forearms, elbows touch. Inhale, lift the elbows. Inhale, lift the elbows. One more time. Inhale, lift the elbows. This time, lean forward for a moment. Uncurl the back toes. Come on back up. Inhale the arms straight up. Steady breath. Let your gaze go up between your hands. Press the palms together. Hands back to your heart center. Hands to the floor. Curl the back toes. Step back to down dog. Couple rounds of breath here. We'll do some toe raises again. So inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, press the heels. 2 more times. Inhale up onto the toes. Bend the knees, press the heels back. 1 more time. Inhale up on the toes. Bend the knees, exhale, press the heels back. And then inhale the left leg up and back as high as you can. On the exhale, step it all the way through. Or any way you need to get to this low lunge pose. Palms together, elbows together. Back toes curled under. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Steady breath. Inhale one last time up. As you exhale, lean forward. Uncurl the back toes. Come back up to center. Inhale the arms up. Steady breath. Let the gaze go up between your hands. Press the palms together if you can, with energy. Hands back to your heart center. Hands to the mat. Curl the back foot under. Inhale. Step back to down dog. 5 nice long breaths here. And then, whenever you're done with the 5 breaths, or you're just ready to get out, we're going to come to a child's pose. So, go through 5 rounds of breath here. Last inhale. And then exhale. You're going to come to child's pose. So spread the knees wide, toes together, and let the head come down to the mat. Or maybe your forehead comes to your arms. whatever feels comfortable to you. Let the breath return to a nice, steady, even pace. And then come on out of your child's pose. And we're going to come back to lying back on our back. You're going to lie back, have your knees planted. Bring your knees back into your chest. Rock back and forth. Just giving the back a little massage again. And then let the feet come back to the mat. And if you have a block or a book or something, we just want to slide this under our low back. So it goes right at this point where the lumbar, where your lumbar spine is. So it's really right back at the bottom of your back, right above your buttocks. And you know you're sort of in the right place when you can slide your hands under and feel the flesh of your buttocks, the beginning of the flesh of your buttocks just hanging off the front edge of the block or the book or whatever. And then turn your palms up. Walk your shoulder blades under a little bit to spread the chest. So I can be down like this with my elbows sort of spread, and I can feel that I'm mostly on my spine. And then I can open up, and when I do that, my shoulder blades start to come together, and I can walk them a little bit closer by sort of scrunching them through the floor. So now I feel like I'm not on my spine as much as I'm on the shoulder blades. And have your feet be parallel. Return to your breath. Take an inhale and lift, pressing the feet into the mat. Lift the hips up. Let the breath be steady. Each inhale, see if you can lift the hips a little higher. Really pressing with the feet, and then lower down back to the block or book or blanket, whatever you're on. Walk your feet in another inch or so. So let the feet come in closer to the butt. And we're going to do that one more time. So inhale and lift up. Pressing the feet up, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Pressing the feet into the mat. Squeezing those shoulder blades, lifting the chest up. Steady breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more breaths. And then lower back down to the block. And then from here, what we're gonna do next, we're gonna let our legs come up towards the ceiling. So this is a raised leg pose. If you're not comfortable doing this pose, I recommend the following. So the pose we're gonna go do is gonna be this pose. So our feet are straight up towards the ceiling, our back is leaning into the block, right? So you're like this. If you don't have a block, that pose is not comfortable, and you're going to have your back on the mat and just bring your knees up like this. Okay? So either one of those is, you can have your arms out, extended. You can be like that, or we're going to have this, and we'll be like this. So let the breath be steady and even. Feet are pressing up towards the ceiling, or your knees are pressing up towards the ceiling if you have your legs bent this way. Right? Either way, you really want the knees over the hips, and the knees are going to be over the hips either like this or like this. So again, let the breath go in and out, steady and even. Keep the feet engaged. Keep pressing the bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling. Do a couple more rounds of breath here. And then to come out, bend the knees. Maybe lower one foot down first, then the other. Slide the block or book, or just let your feet come to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Inhale up, grab the back of the left thigh. As you pull that right knee towards you, pulling the left thigh in towards your chest, feeling some sensation probably on the outer hip. You might find that just having the foot planted and crossed is a sufficient amount of sensation for you, so that's fine too. It's really about listening to your body. What does it want? What can it do? Learning to both challenge the body as well as listen to the body when challenging is the right action. And only you really know. You can tell sort of what feels right, what feels comfortable to push, and what doesn't feel comfortable. So back away, it's okay. And then gently release. Uncross the legs. Cross left over right. And again, this may be enough. Or you can lift the leg, grab the back of the right thigh, and pull that ankle towards you, bringing that left knee up, feeling sensation in the outer left hip, maybe in the left hamstring. Different people will feel this in different places, but sort of experiment, move the leg around, pull the leg in slightly different directions. Just notice how it feels, what gives sensation, what doesn't. And then gently release. Spread the arms wide. Cross the right leg over the left. Walk the left foot in as close to the butt as you can. Lift the hips up. Swing the hips to the right as you let the knees fall to the left. Now, as you roll over to the left, if you start to feel like the left shoulder blade and the right shoulder blade and the right arm are coming off the mat like this, you've rotated too far. And you've sort of given up on the twist. So if you do notice that, you can slide a block or a book or a blanket under the leg. I'll switch sides so you can see it better. So the left is crossed. I swing my hips over, and then I can slide this block anywhere
as close as I need to, so that when I twist, when I'm rotated, my opposite shoulder stays fixed on the ground. So I'll come back to the first side we're doing. I rotate my legs over and I find the right spot so I can relax into the block. My gaze goes out over my right fingertips. My breath is steady and even. And as you breathe, maybe you can consider the effect or sensation of breathing into this whole outer hip, letting the air sort of expand and fill that space as you're breathing. So it's not just breathing into the lungs, it's sort of a sense of feeling the air and the oxygen, everything sort of filling up the entire body. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll come back to center, uncross the legs, cross the left over the right. If you have a block or blanket or something you're using to support your legs, switch sides. Bring the foot in as close to the butt as you can, lift the hips, slide them to the left, let the knees fall to the right, and again, find that spot where you need support to keep the shoulder from coming up off the mat. Be a little bit different for everybody. Let the gaze go out over the left fingertips. Feel the full twist. And you'll notice as you're in the pose, you might be able to move your block or support a little bit as you get a little more space and movement in the body. You can feel the body move as it finds a little more space. Take a couple more breaths here. And then to come out, bring your head back to center. Bring the knees back to center. Uncross the legs. Move the block or whatever out of the way. And we'll prepare for Shavasana. So, lie back, arms by your side, palms up maybe, or palms or not, whatever's comfortable. Let the legs relax. Let go of the steady Ujjayi breath that we have been maintaining through the whole course of the practice as we let go of that steady breathing, as we let go of any real directed effort. We let Shavasana be Shavasana, a period of quiet stillness, letting go of the effort from our practice, allowing the body to relax and to simply be for a few minutes as we rest in Shavasana. Enjoy a few minutes of stillness and quiet as you bring the body to the mat and remove all effort and enjoy a few minutes of Shavasana. eyes closed, bring a little movement back into the body. Moving the fingers and toes. And slowly, keeping your eyes closed, roll onto your right side with your knees bent. Pausing there for just a moment for a slight transition moment between Shavasana and coming back to a seated pose. And then keeping the eyes closed, make your way back up to a seated position, any comfortable seated position. Sit up nice and tall, keeping the eyes closed, making sure the back is nice and straight. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Recall the intention that you started your practice with today. Bring a sense of love and gratitude into your heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this Gentle Yoga Flow today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great week, and be well.